Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this week's episode of Tracy's Tuesday Talks. I am your hostess, Tracy Latona of Golden Rose Financial Coaching, where I guide people who are stressed or anxious about finances to conquering their money goals and getting from where they are in their money to where they want to be in their finances. Please like, share, and subscribe as this helps spread the word on how to achieve financial freedom and supports this small business, and I appreciate that. So this week's episode is what not to do to pay off debt. There are so many people out there who have a lot of misconceptions on the best way to pay off debt. And don't get me wrong, there's lots of different ways to do it successfully, but there are a few different ways that are actually more harmful than helpful when it comes to destroying debt. So let's dive right into this. And that first one is something that I see a lot with clients that come to me is they transfer over their credit card debt to 0% interest cards. So what happens is they see that their interest rate is 25, 35%. They're getting fees, they are getting late charges, and the debt is just adding up and it's crushing. It's absolutely crushing and overwhelming. And then they get these credit card offers in the mail, or they see a commercial for 0% interest until 2024. So to get some relief from that stupid high interest rate and to get some of these late charges to stop piling on is they transfer their credit card debt over into a different credit card that is 0% interest. So the reason why this doesn't work often, I should say, is because typically those types of credit cards are going to come with their own sets of fees. I had a conversation with a lady during a consultation, and she was like, "Hey, I've done that a couple of times." And then after it was all said and done, I actually owed more on that credit card because they charge for the opportunity and the honor of being able to use their debt. So it doesn't solve the problem in the fact that they have their own additional fees and charges. Also, it doesn't change the behavior. It just moves debt around. You're just literally kicking the can down the road and delaying the inevitable, which does not solve the problem and creates more stress in the long term. So the first thing of what not to do for paying off debt is transferring your credit card balances to 0% interest cards. The second thing is to use your home's equity as leverage, whether that be refinancing and then using that extra money to pay off debt, whether that be taking out a home equity line of credit or a HELOC, which is basically a line of credit that's attached to the equity on your house. Real quick, equity is how much above water you are on your house. So how much your house is worth minus what you owe on your house is called equity, just real quick. And then the third thing that you don't want to do to pay off debt is use a refinance for your house. And here's why that's not a good idea. You might be able to pay off large chunks of debt all at once using your house as leverage. However, once again, just like with that 0% interest, you're kicking the can down the road. And when you are refinancing your credit cards or your car loan or personal loans or whatever type of debt into a mortgage, whether that be a cash out loan, a home equity line of credit, or a refinance, you're extending how long you owe over potentially decades. A lot of these loan terms are between 5 and 30 years for a home equity line of credit. And the interest rates are very high. We're talking like 8% for a home equity line of credit. So, and like with refinancing right now, refinancing a house is like 7-8%, depending if you go with a 15-year or 30-year. So that delays the inevitable again. It keeps you in debt longer. And even though you might have a smaller payment up front, or it feels like you paid off debt, you actually didn't. You just transferred debt and used your house to pay the bill to be able to do that. So here's another kicker when it comes to home equity lines of credit or taking out a loan against your house to pay off debt. Your house is the collateral. So if you move, not only do you have to pay what you owe on the rest of the mortgage, you now have to pay off that home equity line of credit, or you have to pay off that other loan where your house is the collateral before you can even see a penny of that sale. It does not make sense. You're literally taking out a second mortgage on your house because your house is the collateral to pay off debt. And that, my friends, just does not make sense numbers wise. It doesn't make sense behavior wise. Even if it feels better for a brief moment to not have to pay 25, 35% interest, I'm sure that paying that off over 5 to 30 years is going to cost you a lot more in the long run, even if the interest rate is lower. So number 2 of things not to do to pay off debt is using your house equity, your home equity, to pay off debt. The third thing, for the love of all things holy, please, please, please do not pull from your retirement accounts to pay off debt. Please don't do this. There's several reasons why. The first is, unless you are 59 and a half, you are going to be double penalized. You are going to have to pay a 10%, I think it's about 10%, I could be wrong on that, at least a 10% fee, a 10% penalty for touching money that is in that tax sheltered retirement account. So you're losing 10% of that money already. On top of, you now have to pay income taxes on that money when it comes tax time. So here's an example. If you were to take out $20,000 out of a retirement account to pay off debt, you would lose 10% of that due to the penalty, and then that $20,000 would be added as income come tax time that you would pay taxes on. And here's another thing that a lot of people tend to not remember or think about is you lose out on that compound interest, the eighth wonder of the world, as Einstein puts it. If you were to take out that $20,000 at the age of 40 in this example, and you wanted to retire at the age of 65, just based off of that $20,000 alone, just the $20,000, that doesn't include that $20,000 on top of the compound interest of what's left in the account, just based off of that $20,000 from the age of 40 to 65 at an 8% rate of return. The average return rate of return on the stock market is between 10 and 12% over the last 100 years. So we're going to go conservative and say 8. You would be losing $146,803 over that 25 years to pay off $20,000 worth of debt. You would be losing $146,803 over 25 years to pay off $20,000 worth of debt at 8% interest. Guys, that is nuts. That is insane. That's the definition of short-term pleasure for long-term pain. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. So what are some other reasons why these 3 options, the zero balance rollovers, using your home equity as credit, pulling from your retirement funds, what are some other reasons why this isn't a good idea? My friends, it doesn't change the behavior that got you there in the first place. Finances is 80% behavior and 20% knowledge. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had or how many clients that I've worked with that have done one or multiple of these three things and realized, hey, this isn't working. I need to work on the problem. I need to figure out what's going on. I need to learn how to stick to a budget. I need to bring these patterns to the surface. I need to learn how to actually control my money versus it controlling me. Once you change the behavior of yourself with your finances, that is when you can become debt-free the right way, the long-term way. So what does that look like? How do you actually get out of debt the right way? My friends, there's a couple of different methods. There's the avalanche method, there's the debt snowball method. I personally love to use the debt snowball method because that works with the behavior. List out all of your debts minus your mortgage, from smallest amount owed to largest amount owed. You're not looking at the interest rates. You're not looking at the monthly payments, as scary as that might be. And you math nerds out there might be like, but it would happen faster if we did it this way, or if we did it this way, or if we did it this way. Mathematically on paper, yes. But finances isn't just math. Finances is behavior. So when you take all of your debts from smallest amount owed to largest amount owed, pay the minimums on everything except the smallest one. So if you were like me and you had a $587 Prius payment and you put $600 a month and that's not the debt you're working on, stop it. Pay the minimum, pay that $587 and put anything extra that you can towards that smallest one. After you've had a $1,000 emergency fund, that's the first thing. And throw everything you can at that smallest one. Once you get that paid off, celebrate, enjoy the endorphin rush. Woohoo, awesome, dopamine galore, it feels great. You take that minimum, or you take that debt snowball from the first one and you roll it over onto the minimum of the second one. You fire hose that one and you take everything you were paying on that second one, put that on top of the minimum of the third one. So by the third or fourth debt, you're throwing big chunks of money at your debt and it feels great. And you can see and feel the progress. That, my friends, is how you pay off debt. That is how you create change in your behaviors with your finances. When you feel the journey, when you feel the struggle of paying off debt, as much as it sucks in the moment, guys, that's going to be the thing that helps you actually create the behavior change. It's not the only thing, but it's a big part of it. You need to find a why. You need to have a visceral, emotional reason as to why you're on this journey. A lot of my clients, a lot of my reason is because when you don't have debt, you have choices. You get to live life on your terms. You get to spend your time not working overtime and being stuck at a job that is frustrating. And you get to spend that time however you want to, whether that be doing your hobbies, whether that be serving at church, whether that be with family. You have to have a strong reason why you're on this journey. Otherwise, the cycle will continue. My friends, if you need help with that, if you need help shifting your mindsets and your habits and your behaviors with finances and drawing those patterns to the surface that are keeping you in debt, please reach out to me. Click on that Calendly link and schedule a complimentary coaching session. I'd love to talk to you, get to know you better, figure out where you are right now in your finances, where you want to be, and how we can get you there so you can break free and have the financial legacy that you want to have. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and share this video. And if you have any questions, click on that scheduling link and let's talk about them. Thanks so much and have a blessed day.